Duck, the Great Western engine, was at the works having his front mended. He damaged it after being pushed into a set of buffers by Oliver, who along with Toad was trying to save Duck from being stolen by thieves, who later turned out to be workmen taking Duck to the works because he was too reluctant to go himself. Duck sat sadly wishing he was back on his branch line with his friends, being really useful. Soon a workman came over. "Oh, don't look so down, Duck." "I'm afraid I can't help it, sir." "You know, Duck, I think you're the first engine I met who isn't happy to be at the works. Most engines enjoy having the break from all the hard work they do." "Well, I don't like to take breaks, sir. I'm Great Western, and us Great Westerners were built to be really useful." "Now that's what I like about you, Duck. You've got a good work ethic and you take pride in who you are. Trust me, when we're finished with you, you'll feel like you just rolled out of a factory, not the works." Duck smiled as the workman walked away, but he had doubts about feeling like a factory-fresh engine. The workmen worked their hardest on Duck. Not only did they mend his front, but they also oiled his wheels, replaced his worn parts, swept his funnel, polished his whistle, and gave him a fresh coat of paint. By the time Duck was ready to go back home, he had to admit he did feel like a factory-fresh engine. His driver and fireman soon came to collect him. "How do you feel, Duck?" "I feel fantastic, just like a new engine." "Just like I said you would, isn't it?" "Yes, thank you. Thank you very much." The fireman lit Duck's fire, and before long steam was pouring out of Duck's newly swept funnel. His new pistons began to pump, and his newly oiled wheels began to turn. And as he steamed away, he blew his newly polished whistle and shouted goodbye and thank you to all the workmen who cheered and waved as he left the works. Duck really enjoyed his run back to his branch line. "I've never run so well in my life." Even his driver and fireman were impressed. They'd never known Duck to run so smoothly before. Oliver was busy shunting in the yard, with Toad watching from close by. Just then, Duck steamed in. "Mr. Duck, you're back." "Yes, I am, Toad." "Welcome back, Duck. How was your time at the works?" "A lot longer than expected, but it was well worth it. I feel like a new engine." "I'm glad. I'm sorry we're the cause of your prolonged visit to the works, Duck." "Oliver, I told you not to worry about it. This accident was neither yours nor Toad's fault." Oliver smiled. He was glad Duck wasn't cross. "Now then, my wheels are longing for a good long run. What's my first job?" "Oh, well, since you're home a little early, Duck, the Fat Controller hasn't told us what your jobs are for today." "Excuse me, Mr. Oliver, but if I recall correctly, we have a passenger train due to depart from Elsbridge soon, and a delivery from the mainland at the docks to collect. Why don't we let Mr. Duck take the passengers and head to the docks early?" "Oh no, Toad. I couldn't take Oliver's passengers after just coming home. I'll collect the train from the docks." "Nonsense. I'm sure the passengers will be thrilled to see you again." "Well, I guess it's settled then. I'd best be off. I don't want to be late." "I'll see you both later. Goodbye." "Goodbye, Mr. Duck." "Goodbye, Duck, and welcome back." When Duck backed down to the coaches at Elsbridge, all of the passengers cheered. They were pleased to see Duck again. "Thank you all. It's good to be back. Now all aboard." Duck had a wonderful journey, and so did the passengers. All the engines who Duck passed were pleased to see him, and whistled happily for him. When Duck had finished with his passenger train, he returned to the yard, but he found that Oliver and Toad hadn't come back yet. "Oh well, I suppose I'll have to wait here until another job comes along." But he didn't have to wait long. As Duck backed into the shed, he heard a voice. It was James, grumbling as usual. "Hello, James." "Oh, hi, Duck. Welcome back." "May I ask what you're grumbling about?" Those stupid, troublesome trucks. They've been playing tricks on me all morning, and now I'm late to collect my train from Vickerstown, which will make me late to collect my passenger train. Tell you what, James, I'll collect your train from Vickerstown for you. Then you can have a rest before your passenger train. Thanks, Duck, but you've only just come back from the works. Exactly. I need to make up the time I've lost. Please, James. Oh, alright then. Thanks, Duck. The train is to be delivered to Brendam Docks, okay? Yes. Thank you, James. So James puffed away to the sheds to rest. And Duck set off for Vickerstown. Duck got the train to the docks on time, and everyone was thrilled to see him. Then an idea flew into Duck's funnel. I'll go around and do some of my friends' jobs. I'll be really useful, and I'll help my friends at the same time too. And Duck set off to do just that. He delivered coal to the steelworks for Stanley, emptied scrap trucks to the scrapyard, and stole from the Blue Mountain Quarry to the docks for Paxton. When nightfall came, Duck was feeling proud of his work that day. But as his crew backed him into his shed, he was still very eager to work. Sorry, Duck, but there are no more jobs for you to do, and your fireman and I are tired. Wait a minute, Percy's due to take the mail train. Why don't we head to Tidmouth and see if Percy's crew will use Duck to take the mail? That's a great idea. Indeed it is. Come on then, let's head to Tidmouth quickly. Percy was preparing to take the mail when Duck arrived. Evening, Percy. Hello, Duck. What are you doing here? I came to ask you something, Percy. Would it be alright if I took the mail tonight? But I love taking the mail. Oh, go on, Percy. Let Duck take the mail. He clearly wants to work, and you could do with a night off. Oh, okay. I guess you can, Duck. Thank you, Percy. I promise to do a good job. Hey, Henry, why not let Duck take the flying kipper? I suppose he could, if he wanted to. That's great. Thank you, Henry. So Duck's crew backed Percy into the shed, while Percy's crew boarded Duck and set off to collect the mail. Percy's crew were impressed with how well Duck was running. Duck was enjoying taking the mail. He even got to say hello to Tom Tipper, the postman. Once all the mail had been delivered, Percy's crew brought Duck back to Tidmouth Sheds, and Henry's crew took over and set off to take the flying kipper. All the fish had been delivered, Henry's crew brought Duck back to his shed. There you are, Duck. You did well tonight. Thank you. I really enjoyed myself. As Henry's crew headed for home, Duck thought about all the work he had done that day, and then went happily to sleep. Next morning, Oliver backed down to a goods train at Maron's station. The station master was surprised to see him. What are you doing here, Oliver? I have Duck timetable to take this train. Oh, well, you see, Duck came back from the works yesterday and was so eager to work he did lots of jobs all day and even worked throughout the night. So? Well, no matter what we did, we simply couldn't get him to wake up. You don't say. No, honestly, we tried everything. His driver tried blowing the guard's whistle, but that didn't work. I blew my whistle, but to no avail. The fireman even tried lighting Duck's fire, but he was still sound asleep. Oh, that Duck. He has the strongest work ethic of any engine I've ever seen. Oh, that's your whistle, Oliver. Indeed, sir. Goodbye. Ah, Duck. A hard-working engine, and one I'm proud to call my friend.